We continue now at the top of Daf Samech Zayin Amid Beis Meseches Avodah Zara. This is Avodah Zarah Daf 67b. On the previous summit, Rabbi Avo said from Rabbi Yochanan that if you have taimo u'mamasho, means to say if you have the taste and the substance of an isser in a mixture of food, so then it is usher to eat from that mixture of food. And if you eat a kazayas of the isser b'chdei achilas pras, so then you're going to get malchus. And the statement continues, taimo v'lo mamasho. Let's say the taste of the forbidden food is in there, but not the substance. So then usher, so then it's forbidden to eat from that food. Ve'ein loken olav. However, there's no malchus in that situation if you do eat from that food. V'im riba tam lefgam. Now, if it adds a taste that is to the detriment, that detracts from the taste of the mixture, so then mutter, then it is permitted. And Rashi explains that taimo v'lo mamasho, let's say you have the taste and not the substance, that would be, for example, kagon chaylev shenafal lekadera. That would be, let's say, fat, non-kosher fat falls into a pot, and the idea is that it completely dissolves. O chaylev shenafal nimoach ve'ein mamasho be'ein. Or if you have fat that falls melted, and again, the idea is that the substance is not visible, that's a case of taimo v'lo mamasho, so in that case, again, it is forbidden, but the person doesn't get malchus for eating it. And Rashi continues, v'im riba tam lefgam, if it imparts a taste that detracts from the taste of the mixture, so then we say that it is mutter. And Rashi explains, ha riba kula mashma, the word riba over here, which means to increase, it implies a leniency. Sha'afal pi shenifka machmas davar acher, even though it tastes bad because of something else. Imhoel iser zel l'rabos hasapagam, if this forbidden food, it increases the bad taste, so mutter, so again, then it is going to be permitted. As the Gemara now continues in line with what Rashi just said, v'leima im nasan tam lifgam mutter, why not phrase it as, if it imparts a taste lifgam, if it imparts a taste that detracts, then it is permitted. And again, the Gemara says, HaKamash Malana comes to teach us, Di'afagav di'ika mili achranaisa depagma b'hadeh, even though there's something else that causes the bad taste along with it, still we're going to say that's considered to be nosin tam lifgam, and it is permitted. And the Gemara continues along these same lines. The halach is like the second version of Reish Lakish on the previous summit. Again, there were two versions of Reish Lakish on the previous summit in terms of nos and tam lefgam. The second version was the one that is lenient. The idea is, even though one might say that the only reason this is imparting a taste that detracts from the taste of the mixture is because there might be too little salt, there might be too much salt, that's why this is happening. We don't say that. As long as it's detracting from the taste, we say nos and tam lefgam mutter, as Rashi explains, Kilishna Basra, Rabbi Shimon ben Lakish, De'ein Omer Chaseira Melech Yiseira Melech. We don't say it's missing salt, it has extra salt, and that's the real reason for the pagam. We don't say that, rather we say, no sentam lefgam is mutter. And the Gemara continues, Amar Rav Kahana says, Midivrei kulam nilmad, from all of them we learn, no sentam lefgam mutter, that no sentam lefgam is mutter. And Rashi explains, Midivrei kulan nilmad, Rav Yehuda, V'Rava bar Barchana, V'Rav Dimi, V'Reish Lakish, V'Rabbi Avo, all these various statements of Amoraim that we just had, they all show that no sentam lefgam is mutter. But the Gemara continues, Amar le Abaya said to him, Bishlama mikulu l'chayei, I understand all of the various Amoraim, we can see from what they say that no sentam lefgam is mutter. Ela de Reish Lakish, but to say that from the statement of Reish Lakish we see that he holds that no sentam lefgam is mutter, that's not true. Because Amru Kamar, because the way he phrased the statement was, they say, those who say no sentam lefgam is mutter, this is what it means. V'leilo svirle, it sounds like he himself might not hold no sentam lefgam is mutter. And the Gemara continues, Mechlal, but does that imply that there might be someone who says no sentam lefgam is aser? And the Gemara says, yes, that is the case. V'hatanya, and that's what we learned in the following brayso. Echad no sentam lefgam, v'echad no sentam l'shevach aser. Divrei Rabbi Meir. Rabbi Meir holds it doesn't matter if it's no sentam lefgam or if it's no sentam l'shvach. It is always forbidden. Rabbi Shimon says l'shevach aser. If it's no sentam l'shvach, so then it's forbidden. But v'lefgam, but if it's no sentam lefgam, mutter, it is going to be permitted. And the Gemara continues, my time with Rabbi Meir, what's the reason of Rabbi Meir that he says no sentam lefgam is forbidden? Gamar mi giyulei ovdei kochavim, he learns it from the giyulei ovdei kochavim. That means if you have pots, let's say, from ovdei kochavim, from idolaters, from non-Jews, we say that what's absorbed in the walls of those pots is going to be not kosher, even though the taste that's being imparted is no sentam lefgam. Giyulei ovdei kochavim, when it comes to giyulei ovdei kochavim, lav no sentam lefgamu, isn't that no sentam lefgam? V'yasar achmon, and the Torah says that it's forbidden. Hachanami lo shna, here also it is no different. And Rashi explains, Mechlal diikol aman da'amar, does that imply that there's somebody who holds nos and tam lefgam is aser? Bitmiya, the Gemara is asking that as a question. Mid Yitzchak Rav Kahana l'meimar midivrei kula nilmad, from the fact that Rav Kahana says that we learn from all of these Amoraim that this is the halacha, Mechlal diikol aman depolik, it sounds like somebody argues. And the Gemara explained Rabbi Meir's opinion, Yolif migiyule of the kochavim derachmana asrinu bechlei midyan. The Torah says that the vessels of Midyan are aser, the giyule of the kochavim are aser. Techsiv, as it's written, kol davar asher yavo ba'esh v'gomer, it talks about the way that you kasher, so to speak, those utensils. Demashma hoel v'nishtamish oved kochavim bechlei chamin, it sounds like, since the oved kochavim, since the idolater used it with hot, so tzarech laharsiach kedei sheyiflot giyol shabal, it sounds like you have to use hot water, you have to use fire in order to take out whatever isser is within the walls of that vessel, and so therefore you see that that is forbidden. And lav nosen tam lefgamu, isn't that a situation of nosen tam lefgam? Bitmiya, the Gemara is asking that as a question. Dabshita lon kol tavshil shon lon laila echad, because it's obvious to us that any time you have a tavshil that sits overnight, nifgam taimo, so the taste already goes away. So what's absorbed in these vessels, as long as it stays overnight, so then it loses all that taste. V'over tzuraso, the entire form is distorted. So again, that's a case of nos and tam lefgam, and it says that it's forbidden. Therefore, we can learn from there that nos and tam lefgam is forbidden. And the Gemara continues, v'idach, and the other opinion, meaning the opinion that holds that nos and tam lefgam is mutter. So what does that opinion do with giyulei ovdei kochavim? And the answer is k'der Rav Huna b'rei Rav Chia. It's like Rav Huna, the son of Rav Chia. D'yamar Rav Huna b'rei Rav Chia. Rav Huna, the son of Rav Chia, said, lo asra Torah el kedera bas yoma. The Torah, when it said that these vessels of the ovdei kochavim, the giyulei ovdei kochavim, are forbidden, it was only talking about a pot that is just that day, meaning to say it had contained within the walls of the vessels, it had isser from that very same day. The lo lifgam, that's not considered lifgam, and that's why it was asr, but nosen tam lifgam is actually mutter. And Rashi explains, bas yoma, that day, means shabishal ba oved kochavim hayom, the lo nifgam. The oved kochavim actually cooked in that utensil today, and therefore it's not nosen tam lifgam. And the Gemara continues, v'idach, and the other one, what is the other opinion respond? Rashi explains, v'idach efshar de lo pagma pursa betavshel habo acharav. It's not possible that there has to be some pagam if you're going to cook in that vessel after. V'afilu achi aser achmana, nevertheless the Torah says aser. As the Gemara continues, v'idach, the other opinion will say, kedeira bas yumanami, even if it's a kedeira from that very same day, efshar de lo pagma pursa, it's impossible that it doesn't have some pagam. And the Gemara continues, v'Rabbi Shimon my time, and Rabbi Shimon, what is his reason that nos and tam lefgam is mutter? The Tanya, as we learned in a brayso, lo sochlu kol nevela lager asher b'sharecha, it says you can't eat nevela, and we learn out from the pasuk which says lager asher b'sharecha, that you give it to the ger in your gates. It means kol haruuya lager, anything that is fit for the ger, karuya nevela. If it's fit to be eaten, then it's called nevela. We'll take a look at the full pasuk. Lo sochlu kol nevela lager asher b'sharecha tetenena v'achala. Don't eat nevela, give it to the ger in your gates, o machar lanachri, or sell it to a stranger. And we will continue with this discussion in the next video on Daf Samech Ches Amud Aleph.